Hey, what is up? So, unfortunately, I have bad news for myself with Astral Chain. It is just majorly disappointing, which is crazy because my first 2 hours of playing the game, I was blown away. I was like, "This is so cool." The intro was really cool. The prologue was really cool. The opening anime cinematic was really cool, and I loved all the ideas and stuff was really cool. I just great impression to start, right? And I'm only 8 hours into the game now, a little over 8 hours, like between 8 and 9. And about 4 hours in was where I found myself just forcing myself to play the game. Where I first hit, well, let me first say the concepts are amazing. Like a lot of the ideas are stuff I love. It's really cool stuff that's in there. It's just when it comes down to it, the combat is what makes me not want to play it. It just feels clunky and not the controls are okay, they're playable and stuff, and I've played worse games. But I don't know, the combat is where I was expecting it to be the best, and it's I don't even want to play the game anymore. I'm going to because that part of what happens with some of these games when I couldn't wait for this game. It looked so amazing. And part of what happens with games like that, when they turn out to be disappointing for me, like I force myself through them as much as I can. And for a lot of them, I can end up completing them, and for others, I don't. But this game, I'm not even sure, man. Like in my mind, I want to beat it so I can have like a final opinion on it. But it's hard to even want to play it, and it's pretty messed up. So I remember I had some points, and I just mostly I love the ideas, and I like the thing I don't usually review stuff that I don't like because plenty of other people do, but then I know I always have friends asking me. If you're watching this, you're probably a friend of mine. I always have friends asking me to give my thoughts on a game, and I really don't like saying negative things because the negative thing for me is a positive for plenty of other people. You can see, like, I think this Metacritic is at 87 after review bombs. It was an 88 before that. Apparently, I was just looking stuff up, and apparently this game got review bombed on Metacritic by users, which lowered its score by one. But yeah, so it was like an 88 Metacritic and stuff. So it's up there, a lot of people are reviewing it very highly, and like I said, the concept is amazing. The all the graphics are beautiful. The world is really cool. The story is pretty neat. It actually reminds me a bit of Evangelion, the anime Evangelion. It's a little Evangelion-ish. But the combat is where and not just the combat, but some of the platforming ish. I mean, I would call it platforming. There's no jumping in the game. There's falling, but but it's sort of a platformer ish where you control your legion, the alien thing, and you send it forward, and then you teleport to it. Kind of, you don't teleport to it. Instead, you jump at it. So that causes issues. Just the fact that you don't teleport to it. So if you have to have the camera at the right spot, you have to have your character at the right spot, because if there's any slight little interference between you and the legion that you're jumping towards, you'll just fall off the ledge. And it's one of the stupidest, most frustrating things I've ever seen. And it's such a small thing. It's such a small thing, but it happens so much, and it's a part of the main game. It's not like it's a small thing that you rarely ever encounter. It's something that happens all the time, and there's little things. And then I was playing on the hardest difficulty for my first few hours before I got fed up with it. For bosses specifically, normal enemies, I had fun with the normal enemies. I thought it was really cool. It was pretty neat, And even though the combat isn't perfect and stuff like it, I thought it was really cool. I liked the way it works. I liked the style. I like the combos between you and your legion and stuff. It's pretty neat, pretty cool stuff. But on the hardest difficulty, when you fight a boss, you have to do perfect timing dodge. And if you don't do a perfect timing dodge, you can't dodge their attacks. It's pretty ridiculous. So it's either I switched to normal. I didn't even know they call it casual in this game. It's normal. And when I finally switched to normal, the first boss I encountered, I killed like it was nothing, and I was like, what the heck? So I didn't. The skill gap is enormous between, and not like, I don't know if I would say the skill gap, just the ridiculous. It's the mechanics. I feel like it's the mechanics. It's like I said, if you don't perform a perfect dodge on the boss, they will just kill you, and not instantly, but it's, a lot quicker than on normal. And another thing is, I just had it on the tip of my freaking mind, and that reminded me of the bosses. Is just, oh damn, it's combat related. Everything is pretty much what I didn't enjoy is combat related. So like the aiming, especially on a Joy-Con. I don't know if it's just my Joy-Con, maybe it's my Joy-Con, but Joy-Con aiming with the bow, when you need to use the bow for puzzle, is terrible. It's really terrible. So I don't know if they didn't think of using the Joy-Con, which makes sense. This is a game that you would most likely prefer a Pro controller on. But still, if you're going to be using Joy-Cons, it would be nice if the controls were actually, felt good and stuff. And that's just for the aiming. Like, everything else was fine on the Joy-Cons, no problem. And I mean individual, not even on the little controller thing, So I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to convince myself that I like the game, because it's the style is absolutely amazing, and man, it's really it's the gameplay that kept me from enjoying it. And there was a stupid spot in this like investigation part where I got stuck for like a half an hour because of I was clicking on something that didn't click, and then I circled it, like I circled that area a million times, and then I finally clicked on it again, and it worked that time. After running around over and over, talking to all the NPCs over and over and over again, and just like, why isn't this work? Why can't I proceed? And then finally, I was just like, I was talking about this in the stream, is like, in a lot of games where there's little things that, they're annoying when they happen, but it's fine. You can continue playing the game. That sucks when that happens. It's no big deal. And there's a difference between that and the little annoying things that are a constant thing, like no matter where you go and what you do. And that's what it's like in Astral Chain for me, is all the little things that bug me are consistent in everything that I want to do when I'm playing the game. So I don't want to say it, but that's how I feel. And and I'm struggling with wanting to continue playing the game, but I know that I have to. This is a game that I expected to love, so it's just like, man. And that's the only reason I even forced myself through several hours after I already wanted to quit the game. And also switching from normal to casual, or from hard to casual. I forget what hard is called on this game. But, oh gosh, that's what I got. Those are my thoughts. Anyways, I don't know if I'll actually upload this. These are my thoughts. I might try to come back and do more, or refine it and make it shorter and stuff. But for now, this is what I have recorded, so I will talk to you later. Have a great day. And if you've played the game, I hope you're enjoying it. I really do. I mean, I can't recommend it. That's all I'm saying at the moment. I mean, I can't see playing the same exact game for another 10 to 20 to 30 hours, however long it is, and having it somehow change my mind. The concept is great. A lot of the stuff, the ideas are so good, and I love what it's meant to be. But playing it, blah. Anyways, bye bye.